We are picking up right where we left off in the last video, and what I'm starting on today is attaching the cabinets for the island. So I got my new Biscuit Joiner, which if you saw when I was doing these cabinets, the Biscuit Joiner broke on the first try, and that was a Ryobi. This one's a DeWalt, had great reviews, so I'm going to try it. You guys will see how it goes, and I'll give you a quick kind of first glance review. But anyways, so I've got my marks for there, gonna biscuit joint those, glue them all together, clamp them, screw them, and then I'll sand the faces. And my goal for today is to get all the cabinets completely painted, finished with the color that they're gonna be, white for the top, if you don't know, and then it's like a blue for the bottom. So should look really good, but we've got a lot of work to do because nothing has been painted and not everything has been primed. Look at that. Perfect joint with no sawdust anywhere. It's gotta all be in here. That is amazing. If you saw the last one, the Ryobi, it blew sawdust everywhere. So the dust collection isn't perfect, but for what, 12 cuts, that's all the shavings that made it on the floor. All the rest are in the bag. So I'm super happy with that. It's way, way, way better than the Ryobi. So I've got the biscuits cut on all the faces. So now I'm going to open the biscuits, get some glue out of the garage and some clamps, and then I'll put these together. I was trying to warm up my glue and it went down in there. This is not good. Uh-oh. Lucky for me, the people that lived here before us were old, and so they needed these little reacher things, and I got it out. The cabinets are completely glued up and clamped. I got my big clamps across the faces. And anyways, I just gotta let this dry for a little bit. These cabinets are plenty strong put together with these biscuits and glue that I don't need screws, but I am just gonna put a few in here. These biscuits really help lining up the face. I mean, this is very close. And it's not impossible to do it without biscuits, but a lot of times if you don't use a biscuit, when you clamp it, the glue is kind of a lubricant, and so it'll shift on you a little bit. The sanding is done, and now you can see it's super smooth. Once this is painted, you'll never be able to see this. It's just the different colors of wood. It's getting to near 1 o'clock, so I don't think I'm gonna start painting the cabinets, but I am gonna do a little bit of cleaning up, and then I can probably paint these 2 or these 3 walls over here and get those done, and then we can paint the cabinets after we get back from church. It's -2 degrees outside, and our heater is actually able to keep up. So if you saw the last video, you know that we did the installation in the attic and in the living room walls right back here. So it is working. It's still having to run quite a bit because it's so cold outside. It hasn't been this cold here since we've owned the house. So anyways, we'll get a closer test when it's like 30 degrees out, because I know it runs about 17 hours a day when it's 30 degrees out. And yesterday it was 3 degrees and it ran 16 hours, so it's already better. I'm going to finish painting the cabinets. Everything's primed, nothing has been painted yet. So I'm gonna paint, the tops are gonna be white and then the bottoms are gonna be blue. So I'm gonna start with the top so that those can dry and I can work down here and not interfere with them. And I got all the top doors laid out, so I'm gonna paint those and then I'll paint the tops, put it all together, and Katie can start organizing. All of the white cabinets have a first coat and the doors as well. So I think I'm going to wash out my brush and roller and switch to the blue and do the bottom cabinets, because this paint has a 4 to 8 hour recoat time. So I've got quite a bit of time to wait before I can put a second coat on. And then because I primed a lot, I don't think I'm gonna need a third coat, but I might. Just wanted to show you, this is what I got. I just finished painting the first part, the blue color, and I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek. So this is the island, and this might show it a little bit better, but it's definitely going to need another coat because it's a lot lighter on here than it will be, just because you can still see the white primer through it. But that's kind of what it's going to look like, and then compared to white you can kind of see the difference. Every drawer and door for the bottom, wow, these look white, but trust me, they're not. It's all done. I got one coat on everything. Base cabinets, top cabinets, white, blue. I am gonna go ahead and finish painting the walls, which I didn't finish some parts yesterday up in here, and then I have to edge, get really close up in here with a brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I think on the main walls I'm gonna do a second coat, and you know, I'll just do a second coat over everything because I'm sure I missed some spots. Well, I finished painting the walls and all the cabinets, and then we kind of put it together just to see what it will kind of look like. So this will give you a little bit of a glimpse, but there's the walls all painted, and then the island will be roughly here. We put the fridge in, the stove kind of where it goes. And so that's kind of how it's gonna look. All the things are drying over here, so we're gonna let them dry for a little bit longer, probably a couple more hours before we attach them. I just don't want it to stick and peel off. We just put some of the drawers in, and then I also cut out the hole for the sink. So I'm gonna try to get that attached tonight and hooked up. So I still have some other holes to drill back here for the faucet, but I want to get the sink put in first and make sure that the garbage disposal will fit in here and not hit this pipe, which it might, I don't know. I've made quite a mess, but I've also made quite a bit of progress. We have the sink temporarily mounted. Obviously this is really rough, but it'll work until I can get the right countertop made. For now, I picked up this over-the-range microwave, so I'm going to attempt to get that on the wall above the range, and then maybe I can set out that old one back there at the trash tomorrow because the start and stop button don't work, so we've had to rig it together. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up and show you what all we got done. I did end up finishing the microwave, which you can see hanging up here, and then I got all the doors put on the bottom and the top cabinets, so I think it's looking really great. I did get the sink completely installed, had to make 3 trips to the store to get the drain pipes, but yeah, this I already used it. It works really well and it feels like it's up there pretty good. So anyways, hope you guys like this video. We're finally making progress. There's not all that much left to do. Still have to do some trim and then make the countertop, and then after the countertop's done, I'll put the backsplash, which will be a subway tile. So that's why that's unfinished, but hopefully tonight we can get all of this food put up in the cabinets and kind of organize our lives a little bit.